All praise to Yahuwah. I want us to prepare for this because you're going to find me in 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verse number 9. You're going to find me in 1 Corinthians chapter 16 and verse number 9. And this is going to be extremely important for you and I to deal with. You already know that according to Hebrews chapter 4, verse number 2, the text says that they did not mix the word with faith, and the they is Israel or Yesharel when they were in the wilderness. It refers to Hebrews 4 and 2, which explains that the Israelites in the wilderness, or the Hebrews in the wilderness, heard the gospel, which is Yahuwah's promises. I know we normally say the gospel is good news, but it is the laws of him, it is the word of him, it is the promises of him. So I want you to transfer that information when you say gospel to the promises of Yahuwah. But they did not benefit them because they did not believe or trust in it. So the mixing metaphor suggests in Hebrews 4 and 2 suggests that hearing the word is like eating food. It must be combined with faith to be digested and bring spiritual profit. So without faith, the word remains ineffective and unfruitful. So we understand you have to mix faith with word. It's one thing to have gnostics, a knowledge of something. A lot of people can quote a text. A lot of people can repeat something. We could be a parakeet about a lot of things. And then people have knowledge of something. Gnostics, you have the knowledge of something, but you don't really have the spirit of it. You don't have the understanding of it. You don't have the life of it. The text, the Holy Scriptures tells us that that the word is spirit and life. You have to have the life of the word, the spirit of the word. You have to have the life of the word. So which takes us back to understanding that when you transfer or when you translate what was written in the word from the early times into English, it loses life. It loses spirit, because what English words is interpreted as is not the same as what our Savior spoke and walked with. It's not the same translation, so it lost that. Now this is important too, because what I found out is that people end up with this grasshopper mentality, this defeated place. Actually, I want to say this place of a lie. Because when they came back with a negative report about we are like grasshoppers and they're so big and we cannot, it really defies what was spoken to them by Yahuwah, by the Creator, by the Father, that says that they were going to go into the land and subdue it. They were going to take it over. They came back and said, no, we're like grasshoppers. What made the Creator, what made Yahuwah so upset with them is that it defied his word. It was a lie. What they told was a lie. It wasn't what he said. And so where the Israelite spies viewed themselves as insignificant compared to the inhabitants of Canaan, this grasshopper mentality represents a mindset of defeat, where obstacles appear as giants, causing people to feel small and unworthy and incapable of overcoming challenges. Now, the latter part of what I just said, incapable of overcoming challenges, is what people get stuck at. People get stuck at paying rent. People get stuck at paying mortgage. People get stuck at certain challenges. They can't think past that. They can't view themselves past that. They stay in a particular zone. However, that is not the way of the Creator. That's not the way of Yahuwah. That's not the way of our Father. That's not the way that we're supposed to think. And we go back over to Hebrews again. In Hebrews 11 and 6, it says faith is the foundational requirement for a relationship, as it's impossible to please the Father without believing in his existence. So I know your text says without faith it's impossible to please